Good morning, kids. What day is it? Monday, January 22nd. Oh my goodness. It's ending. Anyway, good morning. It's the B Cup. Here we are on YouTube, but I'm going to do my disclaimer. I'm trying to think of a better way to do the disclaimer instead of me saying it. Maybe I should actually write it. I know, I'm going to write it and put it. That way I don't have to say it. But anyways, I have to do it before I go. God, I'm still sleepy, you guys. My disclaimer is that I do not speak for any community. I do not speak for the LGBT community, and I do not specifically speak for the transgender community. These are always my opinions, my life, my experiences. I encourage you to use your own stories to create change. There we go, kids. Okay, so we're on YouTube alone. We're here alone. And also, I have like the smallest head. Every time people send me hats, they don't fit me because I have like a baby head. So today, what I want to talk about with you kids is something that I find that is happening in our community a lot, and that is shaming each other for their own choice of identities. And one of the new things, I think it's been happening for a while, but one of the things I do see is this shaming around passing. I don't know what's happening and why, and shaming people for having things and shaming people for being able to have things more than the other person. That feels very that just feels very selfish, and it feels very shaming. Oh, hi, Karen. Nice to see you, my friend. We're going to talk a lot today about passing privilege. Is it a privilege? Is it a choice? Is it both? Why are we making it a negative thing instead of a positive thing? Many of us, that was our desire before we transitioned, was to have this appearance of the gender we like and the gender we feel associated with. And now all of a sudden, you're getting shamed because you have the opportunity to have the surgeries, and that when other people don't, for reasons of financial or reasons of it's just not possible in their area. But that, and that's horrible and that's not cool. But why are the people who are being given the gift of transition passing being shamed for it, such as myself? And if you knew the story of how I was able to get my surgeries, you would understand that it was something I worked very hard to do on my own, and I wasn't given it through insurance or because my parents have money. None of the above. I created it because I worked hard to get it. But I'm not saying everyone is in that space. And that's not going to be an elitist attitude. Remember, I was homeless. Remember, I was on the streets. And remember, I didn't have money either. So that's why I encourage these kinds of conversations, because it isn't necessarily because I'm white, and it isn't necessarily because I come from a middle class background. It's because I really did make an effort to create the money on my own. And so that's something I will argue, because it's not necessarily true that I had the white privilege to get it. Because if you understood my story, you would understood that it wasn't all privilege. Let's go to Facebook Live and create this conversation at a bigger level. I think it would be really great to do that. Again, it's a discussion, and it's my opinion, and it is not fact. So don't take my words out of context and use them to create some kind of more divide in this community. Listen to what I'm saying as my opinion and not as a fact. This is another problem that we continue to do within our community, is take words out of context to fit your own idea of what you think that person said. That's dangerous behavior, my friends, and I won't stand for that. So now we're going to go to Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us, Care. Good morning, kids, on Facebook. It's the B Cup, and here we are, Monday, January 22nd. I look crazy because I stayed up late using cannabis, and now I'm paying for it. Trampa had a good night's sleep. Let me tell you, I couldn't wake up this morning. That said, disclaimer time. I do not represent the LGBT community. I do not represent any community. I do not represent the transgender community. I represent Buck Angel, and my opinions are my opinions, and that's all they are. Okay, I'll let you know when it's fact. A lot of my story is fact, and a lot of what I talk about here is my story. It's not your story. You can talk about your own story. So, we're moving on now. Good morning, Smash and Jennifer. Today we're going to talk about something that really gets people's goat going. Is that like a real saying? You got my goat? And where does that come from? I love those kinds of sayings. They're hilarious. So anyway, if I got you, good, because that means you're going to have a discussion with me. And if I anger you, good. That means you're going to have a discussion with me. Good morning, Smash, my buddy, and Sasha, and Mandy, and Amanda, and Christian. Good morning from Pennsylvania. Oh, we're in the middle of a blizzard, Cheryl? Wait, where are you again, Cheryl? Holy crap. Good morning, Francisco. We need to talk, Francisco. Maybe later today. Good morning, Soren. It's so great to see everybody. It's already a good Monday. Remember, it's the beginning of the week. We're going to be able to create our own week right now. We're going to be able to create the energy that we want to start for this week. Oh, Iowa, I'm sorry, my friend. Whoa. We're going to be able to create the energy we want to have for the rest of the week. We're going to be able to create the energy that we want to have for today starting now. So, thank you. I bless you, my friends, for joining me. But first and foremost is coffee. So, let's continue saying our good mornings. And then I really want to talk about this thing that I've been talking about for the last couple of days. And if you do follow me on Instagram, or if you don't follow me on Instagram, I highly recommend that you follow me on Instagram, Buck Angel, because I get some great conversations there. And sometimes in the day, I just pop on there. But what I'm going to tell you is I got a lot of good people on my Facebook feed who really do have conversation with me. And so I think, like us here. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do, because we create great conversations. So one of the great conversations I started to create was passing, and this idea of this privilege, and that you're a bad person if you pass. And now passing is, oh, what did this person say in their comment? Oh, good morning, Tracy, and good morning, Christian, and good morning, Richard. Nice to see you, and Jay. You know, they're saying that it's a very specific part of the transgender community, and I mostly think it's the younger generation where they aren't into binary, and it's all good, yet now they're shaming binary choices within the transgender community. I don't get it. This hat is too big for me. It's like going everywhere. Listen, I don't get it. Now you're shaming other people's choices for identity, even if you think passing is what they're saying is passing is actually bad, because then you are part of the cisgender system, and that means that you are furthering this idea that you must look. That's not what passing is. And who started this language of passing? And do you know how dangerous it is? Listen to me. To create another word that divides us. Somebody in our community, or some buddies, created the word passing in order to shame other people for creating their own identity of the way they want to look. You know, the community created that word. But yesterday, somebody gave me a little history, which I'm not sure is or is not true. But this is what they said. The word passing comes from the people of color, mostly black community, back in the day when a black person could pass as a white person. So within the black community, they had used that word passing for a black person who could pass as a white person and be considered that. So that sounds real, but I don't know. Somebody fact check that for me. If you have a chance, fact check that. So, but that said, our community now took this word to shame. To shame. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Phoenix and Nikolai. It's partly a jealousy thing. I totally agree. But we're going to get deep into this conversation right now because I really want to have some feedback around this. Listen, but drink some coffee first. Drink some coffee first. Get our blood going. Because here, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to use my own story. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and that little girl felt like a little boy. For real, that little girl felt like a little boy. She played with little boys. She felt accepted when she was with the boys. She was always happy as a little boy, dressed like a little boy. Always, always. That's the way she felt the most comfortable, dressed in boys' clothes. When people called her a boy, she felt comfortable. Fast forward, all of a sudden, this little girl started to grow breasts, and she started to have her period. And all of a sudden, she was like becoming a lady. And she was like, what? I'm a boy. All of a sudden, her whole life crashed, and she couldn't stand it anymore. She started to be angry. She started to be depressed. She started to cut herself. She started to use drugs and alcohol. Fast forward, she tried to commit suicide. She was a mess until she was given the opportunity to what? Transition from a woman into a man using hormones and using surgery. Today, that little girl is me. Today, that little girl is me. I am that little girl. And now I am happy. I am satisfied. I am functioning. I am an innovator. I'm a businessman. I create all my own stuff. How is that a bad situation? That passing opportunity gave me life. Gave me life. And it gives a lot of other people life. So, how are we now telling people within our community and the outside world that to pass is a bad thing? It saved my fucking life. And it will save other lives. But when you start to tell people in our community that when you pass or you make that choice to pass, you are perpetuating this idea that binary and cisgender is the better way to go. That's not what's happening when you pass. I can only speak for myself. I never even thought about that. I passed in order to create a more accessible space for me to walk the world and for me to be creative and for me to be able to walk out the door every day and for me to become a functioning person in society. That's what passing was for me and is for me. It has nothing to do with me accepting that cisgender people are better than transgender people or these people are better. Why now all of a sudden is it being blown out into some other fucking bullshit language that makes no sense? That's not what passing is. Zoe says, I want to transition, but my mom thinks that testosterone will mess up my hormones. It will mess up your hormones. Your mother is right. Your mother is right. But at what extent will it mess up your hormones? And what extent is it that you want to do? Look at me. I used to be a lady. And now I'm an ugly, hairy man from hormones. Leo says, hi from Vienna, Austria, Europe. Keep on going. Solidarity for non-binary. From a non-binary. For different choices for different people. Stay rebel. Right on, my friend. That's Leo. I appreciate your voice. Leo is a non-binary person who understands my choice of binary. Now we are family because I respect Leo and Leo respects me. And there's no shaming of choice. There's actually what? Celebration of choice. I celebrate your choice of non-gender, binary, gender non-conforming, theys, thems. I celebrate that. But you must celebrate me too. It can't go both ways. And you can't shame the people who make choices in this community because maybe you don't have the opportunity, or maybe you don't want to, or maybe you just don't have any desire. But why would you turn around and shame others for their idea, yet you expect the same respect? That's so immature. That's immature behavior. Nikolai says, because these people want to focus more on policing, because they're not really what? They're not really what? About, God, this fucking, I'm taking it. They're not about creating a community full of love and happiness. They're about creating a divide between all of us. Francisco from Wikipedia. Thank you, my friend. Historically and genealogically, the term passing has referred to mixed race or biracial Americans identifying as or being perceived as belonging to a different racial group. So, let me ask you this, my friends. Is that cultural appropriation? I'm going to use their words against them. This is where it gets fun. Because this is the hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy in the transgender community or the queer community. This is the hypocrisy. So, Francisco and the rest of my beautiful people out there, did you read Francisco's? Found the definition Wikipedia. So it comes from the historically from, right, mixed race and biracial Americans, which is a cultural. So now the transgender part community took the word passing from another culture and used it for their own. Is that cultural appropriation? It's a question. Zoe says, good morning, Zoe, but she thinks it's a mess me up mentally. It will. I don't know if it'll mess you up, but it'll change the way you think. Alex says, I respect anyone who wants to better themselves, and that's the way you should be. Thank you very much, Zoe, and we can help you out. Eden says, I would love to be able to pass. I would give just about anything to be able to transition, but it would actually kill me if I take hormones. But Eden, listen to me. There's a reason why you don't pass or whatever that is. Get that word passing out of your brain. Do you see what they've done to you? Those people in our own community have now brainwashed you. Your own community has brainwashed you, Eden. What is passing? So maybe you don't walk out the door and have a mustache and a beard, but I bet you're a beautiful looking person. I bet you're beautiful. I bet you're sexy. I bet you have so much going for you that you are missing out on because you are so focused on this one tiny little part of who you are. That's a tiny part. You know what? I wanted to grow a big, gigantic penis. I didn't get the big penis. I'll never get the big penis. What did I have to do? I had to accept my vagina. And I did that way before anybody else was talking about that. I'm not saying that in a way to pat me on the back. I'm telling you that in a world where we were so focused on genitals 20 years ago, I didn't get the penis. But what did I do? I created my own self. I created my own self in the total pushback of not only the transgender community, but the world. So I don't pass. I'm a man with a vagina. I created my own image and my own idea with what? Against all odds. What are the odds that a man with a vagina would exist today? None. But I did it. So you have to listen to me right now, my friend Eden. Right now. I'm talking to Eden. Do not get trapped in this idea that the only way to move forward and the only way to be in your life is to pass, because it's bullshit. I have been very blessed and I have been very lucky to create this image of this masculinity that I've always wanted. No doubt, I say it every day. I'm very grateful for my life and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. But what if? What if? And now, Eden, what if? Create you with. Imagine that none of us had hormones. Imagine that they never even existed. What would you do? You have to think forward, not backwards. Forward thinking. Right? Tori says, Zoe, my advice would be not to take tea too soon because, one, most people are not fully developed until 21 and your body is making changes. There's a lot of reasons why not to. I believe that. Azra says, drag queens stole POC sayings as well, like girl. Yeah, totally. Totally. We've all stole stuff from each other. Queer is cultural appropriation. If you want to play that cultural appropriation game, which is very dangerous too, then queer. You co-opted queer from the gay man community, people, without even asking if it was okay. So don't act as if you are better than and that people passing are bad. You continually co-opt language from other communities for your own good, but then you totally try to fucking nail people on their own language, their own identity. Who are these people in this community who are so adamant to gatekeep and to create divide? And they're hypocrites. Nikolai says, as a kid, I thought I was meant to be a girl. I get so confused by the cisgender thing. I don't identify as male to myself, but I do not to others because you should be confused. It is confusing because they're trying to confuse you. Jennifer, I thought of this, as I always glad that my daughter could pass and stop some of the bullying. And there's that. Zoe says, I say I am ugly because I have been bullied. I was called ugly and I think that I will be pretty handsome if I get my boobs gone. I hate them. I know. Zoe, I know. Trust me, I was there. Eden says, thank you. You are 100% right. I would continue to live my life and to help others, so that's what I'm going to do. Bless you, my friend. You opened your ears to me. Create your own space. Good morning, Loda. Good morning, Blas. Create your own space. Everyone in this room today, listen to me. Not everyone has the opportunity to take hormones, to get surgery, to be passing. So when we start to talk about that as a bad thing, we are shaming people. We are shaming me. We are shaming the people who have had the opportunity, and we are shaming the people who want to pass. Yes, opportunity isn't for everyone. I wanted to have a gigantic, huge penis. It didn't happen. I figured it out. Figure out your path. You might not never ever be able to take hormones because of financial, because of health reasons, because who knows what the fuck. Good morning, Noah on YouTube. Are you going to sit around and just be miserable and start pointing fingers at the people who are accomplishing what they want? You should be happy. When you are happy for others, the universe will love you and you will get what you need. But when you are continually pushing and being mean for other people's success, you will not be successful. Because what are you doing? You're creating bad energy. You're creating bad energy. You're jealous because Joey gets to take hormones and you don't. You're jealous. You're envious. You know what that is? That's negativity. Why are you not happy for Joey? Why are you not happy that Joey gets to take hormones? Because you're jealous, you're envious, and those are bad things to have. Why are you jealous? Why are you jealous? Think about it. Really, it's a real question. Why are you jealous of other person's success? Because you think you can't have it? Is that why? Or do you think that that person doesn't deserve it? Is that why? Or do you think that you just are jealous because you want to have it and you don't get to have it? What is it? I'm going to tell you again and again and again and again until you hear me. Don't be jealous. Don't be envious. Don't talk shit about other people. Don't put negative energy. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to you. Have compassion, have empathy, and also celebrate other people's successes. When you celebrate other people's successes, that comes back to you. I promise you. I have zero jealousy for anybody in this community who is successful. I have almost so many of the high-speaking trans people are my friends. Laverne is my friend. Janet is my friend. Aiden is my friend. Laith is my friend. These are all high-ranking trans people who have huge voice. They're all my friends. We're not jealous of each other. We created a family. We know that each of our voices are individual voices. Each of our opinions are individual, and each of us brings something different to the table. That's all you ever have to understand. When you're jealous of Joey, you're not understanding that Joey is a different person than you, and Joey's bringing more different things than you're bringing to the table. He has different opportunities, different everything. Aaron says, great news today, Buck. I'm cancer-free. One more chemo treatment, and I'm done. Everyone send love to Aaron. That's because Aaron, your brain and your energy wanted to create that. That's why. You really put a lot of effort into staying positive. Positive energy creates positive change. And Aaron kept a positive energy throughout his whole cancer and his treatment. And today, damn it, you're cancer-free, dude. I love you. I think it's brilliant. I love that you share your journey with us because when you share that journey with us, what you do is you create more positive energy for people to see it's not that bad. Getting cancer and almost dying sucks, but you beat it. Passing or not passing sucks, but figure it out. You have to figure it out. I can't. I think I saw Stacy come on. Stace, are you here? Soren says, give out freely what you want to receive. Within the trans community, there is diversity, something we should celebrate. We've always been saying that, but I don't understand why everybody's missing the point. Amanda says, I feel completely androgynous and I would love to have my chest and uterus removed, but I don't know that I will. Kids always ask me if I'm a boy or a girl. It used to bother me, but I have become comfortable with it. I live in a very small southern town. It's about perspective. Thank you, Amanda. Beautiful. Beautiful. May says, I hate that passing is a thing. I'm cis and kids insult each other for not being some kind of perfect example of whatever gender. It's like I need to start seriously getting back into speaking to the children, not universities. They're so immature. Our university age trans community is the most immature community out there. Hands down. The immaturity of the young trans community is shocking. It's shocking. They hate each other. They are against each other. They have no respect for the community. They don't even understand their own privilege. They have created such an incredibly victimizing situation. They are just tearing shit apart, and not in a good way. Good morning, Sean. How are you? We love to see you here. Hi, Stace. How are you? And here comes Melissa. Christian says, my husband got his top surgery this year. His close friend Joe stopped talking to him because he got surgery before him. Called my husband all kinds of names and made him feel worthless. I told him his friend is just jealous. Don't let. Wow. 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 Did you guys hear that? I'm reading it one more time from Christian. My husband got his top surgery this year. His close friend Joe stopped talking to him because he got surgery before him. His good friend called my husband all kinds of names and made him feel worthless. I told him his friend is jealous. Don't listen to him. He's only upset because he's jealous. Why would you be jealous of your best friend getting surgery? Why would you be jealous? I would be so happy. I would know that the future is for me too if my best friend got surgery. But there's jealousy. Stace, there's so much jealousy. It's hurtful. It is fucking hurtful. Sean says, this is solo true. I don't get the hate between each other. That's why we must talk about it. Is it jealousy and envy? I think those are kind of the same things. Is it that you need to... I really do think it comes from shame, narcissism. It comes from shame and jealousy and hate. And if I can't have it, you can't have it. What the hell is that? Noah says, good morning for you, Buck. For me, good evening. Oh, good evening, my friend. We need to be supporting each other, Alexis says. Sandrina says, quick good morning to you all. Take care. Have an awesome day, Sandrina. We love you. Jennifer says, a lot of jealousy. You think they would be happy that their friend... You think when your friend goes and, like, gets a beautiful haircut and looks amazing and beautiful, and you're like, hey, dude, you look like shit. That's weird. That would be totally weird if you did that. Would you do that? Probably not. Probably not. Or I hope you wouldn't. But why are you doing that? Because somebody else is able to move forward in their life. It makes no sense, children. We have to have this conversation at a bigger level. It is very, 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 very dangerous. Christian said, after my husband got his hysterectomy, he started telling everyone my husband's name by birth and telling everyone, that person is bad, Christian. Eliminate them now. Eliminate them from your life and from your husband's life. Eliminate them. They are doing nothing but creating fucking total anger, envy, jealousy, disgusting behavior. Until that person learns to have respect for your husband and you, eliminate them. Amber says, I feel the same prospect about applies to the disabled and poor health community and want to know why such hatred is still lingering. Let me just tell you. Can I drink my coffee? Can I? I need to take a little minute. Speak to me. Speak to me. Francisco says, then he was never a friend, Christian. You're better off with... It's so true. Sean says, have we lost our... Yes. Smash says, there's also a lot of pressure to conform. Yes. Look like you are on top of your transition. Do everything according to the word of gatekeepers. Who are the gatekeepers? We have to eliminate the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are the one who are creating this divisive language. Okay? Jennifer says, my daughter is 18 and I got her bottom surgery this past November and her friends have been happy for her. Jennifer, answer this question. Are her friends cisgender or are they transgender? This is going to be interesting. Watch this. Jennifer, this is congratulations on your daughter's bottom surgery, but I would also like to know whether or not her friends who were happy for her, are they cisgender or are they transgender? I think I kind of possibly know the answer. I might be wrong. Good morning, my friend Hunter. Christian said exactly, he makes me so mad I'm too much of a lady to throw... Good morning, Rye. How are you? Woke up sick today. Oh, no. Take a lot. Let me just tell you something real quick. Every morning, my new friend, my new German lady friend, she brought me a bunch of lemons. Every morning, I crush a half a lemon in a cup, and I pour some warm water on it and I suck it down before anything else goes in my body. I've been feeling like a crazy person in a good way. Seriously, like so energetic and so great, and I haven't been getting sick. So really, I think it's been helping me a lot. Alexa says, friends are people who push us, love us unconditionally. Where did you go? I need you to answer that question for me. Who said that? Who said that? Christian. Okay, so listen to me. I think I'm going to need a shot of brandy. Yeah, we need. Stacy says we need to celebrate everyone's transition progress, not knock them. So, did someone answer that question? Was your child cisgender's friends or trans friends? I need to know that because it's going to speak a lot to what we're talking about. Amanda says, we all live such a hard life. I don't know why we have to have these gatekeepers. We let these gatekeepers get in control before we stopped it. Okay? But I am not of the ranking of the university college kids. Look, I've been speaking to those kids, and they are mean, they are disrespectful, they have zero respect for anyone, they are total hypocrites. I catch them all the time. They're co-opting language from other cultures and communities and turning around and using it. Isn't that cultural appropriation? And isn't that hypocrisy? Speak to me. This man who didn't graduate high school and has no formal education. Speak to me. Speak to me. I'm serious. Tori says Jennifer Shaw. Buck wanted to know if the friends who are supportive. Yeah. Okay, no worries, Jennifer. I just thought you didn't hear me. Sean says this is supposed to be the time of gender revolution, acceptance of ourselves and what. It's not. It's not a revolution, and it is not accepting. It's a war. It's a war. It's a war between who's more in control of who. It's a war for those people to dominate our community because they don't like themselves. It's a war between us and them. How did that happen? I have never belonged to a community that was in so much turmoil towards each other. Good morning, Robert. Nice to see you. Robert says, I just had a long acid trip and it helped me and it helped me erase the ideology of binary gender stereotypes. Well, let me just tell you something, Robert. I am binary. I believe in the binary. The binary will always exist. Gender will always exist, whether you like it or not. But here's great news. There is everything in between male and female. So you all can play here, but you're never going to get rid of male and female. I'm not going to let it happen in my lifetime because I'm a man, and you're not going to erase my identity. I refuse to. And there's too many people in the world who are gender binary and who love it and who live it. So the point is, stop saying gender is dead. It is not dead. It never will be dead. It will always be here. Celebrate the fact that you now get to have everything in between. What is happening with you people? Why do you, so all of a sudden your choice is better than my choice? Fuck off. You think your choice is better than anybody else's choice? Fuck off. And you think you're going to come into this community and tell us how we need to be? Fuck off. Gender is not dead. It never will be. And stop telling people passing is bad. And stop telling people that you're never going to be something unless you take this. What happened to the rainbow? We don't have a rainbow anymore. What we should be, do you know what our symbol should be for the transgender community? It should be a dark cloud with a lightning bolt coming out of it. That's what I see happening in the transgender community. A dark cloud with a lightning bolt. That's the symbol for the transgender community, not the rainbow. The rainbow is happy and everyone gets along. Ha! What a fucking bunch of bullshit. Noah says, I'm 8 weeks on hormones now. Buck is normal to be scared? Of course. God, I remember being petrified when I started hormones. It was it was scary, but dude, lady, ma'am, however you call yourself, no disrespect, Noah, but being scared is a good thing. It keeps you on your toes. But if you look fast forward and you see me, don't worry about it, dude. You're right on schedule. So don't even worry about it. Azra says binary and non-binary is part of the whole. Sean says, my community here outright hate me for being binary. I feel for them, but it makes me lonely here. You're not alone, Sean. Those aren't your friends. You don't need to be around that. You're much better being physically alone and connecting with the people who are your family on the internet. You will not get nailed mentally by hanging around hate, because that's what that is. Nate says, I am non-binary, but to me it doesn't mean I don't have a gender. It just doesn't have a specific label. I have friends on the binary. Everyone should be able to identify it. Sarah says, there is a TV program on British TV called Transition Street. I'm cis and think this program is helping people understand the process being both physically and right on. Send me, I would love, what's it called? Transition Street. I'm going to go check it out. That's fantastic. Thanks for that information. You know, British TV has always been ahead of the ball game when it comes to trans. I have been to Britain millions of times. They've embraced me. Back in 2007, I was on all kinds of shows there. Remember The Morning Show? I was on The Morning Show. Back in the day. So they were already ahead of the ball game. Good morning, Loda. Nice to see you. Vincent says, male and female are not going away. I'm a man. Exactly. Alexa says, and other people not inside the LGBT community think we are a joke because we are not supporting each other. That we know. Jennifer says, all sick. Here we go. So, Jennifer earlier said to me that her daughter of 18 years old had bottom surgery, and all of her friends were supportive and amazing. I asked Jennifer, so, Jennifer, tell me about the friends. Are they cisgender or are they transgender? Because that's going to say a lot to me right now. And here's Jennifer's answer. All cis friends. My daughter didn't have any trans friends until she had the surgery. She doesn't want to be associated with other trans because she is a young woman. And who supported her? All cisgender people. Are you hearing me, trolls? Are you hearing me? All cisgender people supported a young trans woman having her bottom surgery. If that was trans, half at least of those trans friends would have been jealous, would have been mean, would have reacted. And that is a fact because I'm watching it happen every day. So you tell me who's more supportive of our community, cisgender people or transgender people. And you tell me why people like myself choose to hang out with cisgender people and not transgender people. Because we get more love from the cisgender world than we ever do from our own. Go figure. Casey says language, it's all about intent, like you said. It's millennials and younger are taught in school that there are words we should say and challenge and change the definition. When I was in school, we had debates where we could all speak, but I'm in Canada, probably different than the colleges. Yep, Canada is more open-minded, my friend. Good morning, Deanna. Nice to see you. We're happy that you showed up. Sarah says, that's where I first saw you and thought your positivity. Matthew, thank you, my friend. Matthew says, morning, Trump. Getting ready to go to work. Good news on this first job that I was hired on as company male. Most of my coworkers don't even know I'm trans. Kick ass today, Matt. Right on. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. You know, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that I have to say all my friends are cisgender. Of course I have trans friends, but the majority of my friends, my family, the people who support me, cisgender people. And I know why, because they don't have an agenda. They don't care what I do. They only care that I'm happy. In our own community, we don't care about others. We don't care about whether you get your surgery. We only care about ourselves. And we care about our own ego, and we want what we want now. And we don't want you to have it before us. Where does that fucking behavior come from? My motherfucking friend over here is suffering and he needs to really get his breast cut off because he doesn't feel comfortable with that. I'm gonna fucking help this guy. Even if I don't have mine and I don't have the opportunity. Why wouldn't you help somebody? That's jealousy. Hunter said it is normal to feel awkward being single and trans, afraid of the... Of course. It's awkward to feel it anyway, not just trans. Mash, good morning, says, so much turmoil. It's heartbreaking to see such fracturing in a community that is supposed to be, and I hear this every day, Mash. We're all on the same page. We don't get it. Alexis, thank you. We are falling apart. Thank you for the live videos you've created. Everybody supporting these videos needs to pack together. Every day we talk about this. Every day we talk about this. Every day we will talk about it. And every day we get more listeners. And every day more listeners can hear what we... This is not my voice. This is not my voice. It's our voice. I'm telling you my opinion, and you're responding to my opinion, and I'm reading your opinions, and we are having what's called dialogue through my voice. We are having dialogue through my voice. Because if it wasn't dialogue, I wouldn't read any of your comments. If it was just me preaching, then I would just preach. I'm telling you my opinion, and you're in turn telling me your opinion. And I read it, and we're doing all the vocal through my voice. This is how it should be until we can get back to sitting together, hanging out, and having coffee and having this morning conversation at my kitchen table. But this is my kitchen table. Nikolai says, I dated a trans man for a few years. He had so much depression and anxiety about being, I gotta go, about being stealth and about being incomplete. It ended up making things really hard. Okay, I gotta let YouTubers go. I love you guys. What role do you believe religion has played in this? I'm convinced it started in church. What started in church? I missed the comment. Oh, a lot started in church, but we'll have that conversation tomorrow. I love you guys on YouTube. Thank you always for showing up. Thank you for having conversation. The B Cup wouldn't be here without you. So don't forget about